Yeah, it looks like you can hear me now. Can you hear me? Yeah, I got the no volume, but what about now? I was figuring it out after you put the monkey. Okay. Well, welcome everybody. Well, Metal, hello. Um, Tonight we are doing Koro-sensei. Let me know if I said that correctly, Metal. That's the second time I'm saying it. First time you didn't hear me. But let me go share this out while you let me know. Um, yeah, I just came across it looking up manga characters. Looked very unique. Okay, I see you said something, but I wrote something. I'm just not sure what yet. Okay, and let's just grab this link and put it in the Discord. That's not. The Discord isn't even up. Okay, so uh sensei, like the word for teacher. Yeah, okay. Don't ask me about this series though. I've read a few chapters when it was new and decided it wasn't for me. Ah, well, you reading a few couple chapters is probably more than what I know about it. But yeah, I get you. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. And then it looks like there would be a fourth one here. I might just come on. I might come on in a minute. Just gotta wrap something up. Yeah, no problem.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, oh. And I, how are you?
I'm all right.
That's better. Now you're in my ears instead of in my in my speakers.
Well, I just better be somewhere, you know.
Yeah. So how have you been since a couple days ago or whenever it was?
Oh, you know, I think it what was it only a couple days? I thought it was more than that.
Well, it's probably I seen you in the chat on Saturday
Yeah,
morning.
yeah.
And
But
hello,
I also
Alpha.
don't think I said anything more than like maybe an emote or something like that.
Well, I thought you said a little bit more than that if I remember, but maybe I'm remembering wrong too, which is oh, maybe you're not hearing you. Okay, I don't think they're hearing you.
That might be for the best.
Okay, they should be.
Yeah, I only remember putting like a sleeping in bed emote in the chat. Maybe I said a sentence. I don't know, but I was in fact trying to sleep.
Yeah, I remember you putting a bet. I'm pretty sure the bet emoji. Here, let's find out.
Yeah, I was only even awake because, the same thing I've been doing. I was racking my brain all night before that, filling out tables and stuff for this RPG. So it's like, Rick's on. I'm lying in bed. I might as well put him on for a little bit before I pass out.
Yeah, I know Sketchbook came in first. Then Flit was there. Then Raoul.
I'm pretty sure I came in kind of late too. Yeah, I saw that he was a migrant living in a tent last week. He posted it in his Discord.
Are you really a migrant living in a tent when you're officially there and you're camping on in a camp in
Well,
a real campground?
I didn't. Unlike him, I didn't call you an illegal migrant. I just said you were a migrant, which that implies that you traveled somewhere.
uh, I'm not sure whether you put anything before this, but you put a sleeping emoji in the chat.
Yeah, that was the first thing I remember putting in the chat. And I remember putting the guy lying in the bed. Like I said, I might have typed an actual sentence, but I do not remember typing an actual sentence. I was
Yeah.
already on my way to join Little Nemo in Slumberland.
Oh, you said bless you too, Alpha.
Oh, which also meant I said bless you before that. I think both of you had sneezed independently.
So we found out what what was said by you. I don't even see the bed emoji there.
Pretty sure it's like the last thing I typed. I put a bed emoji and then dipped or something.
Metal Cross was an illegal migrant last week. He was living in a tent. ICE kicked him out.
Yeah,
Actually,
I redacted the illegal part because you were technically there legally.
yeah. Yeah, I went through customs. I went through the border check. They cleared me. And I came back through the border too. The only
Which
I
definitionally is migration, right? A lot of things they only temporarily migrate, right? Like crows go and migrate for breeding, and then they go back to where they were before that. Ducks do it too, geese.
yeah,
You
lots of
didn't
birds.
immigrate, which is where you plan on being permanently in a place.
No ice was involved. Well, actually, there was some ice involved, but it was put in the cooler. To keep some meat cold.
The type of ice I don't usually care for. As long as it's in my drinks. Keeping meat cool, perfect use for it.
Yeah, I don't usually get ice in my drinks either, if I remember.
Because if you don't drink it fast enough, like it waters your drink down.
Exactly. And the
I
fact
think
that
the only exceptions, I'll put it in tea because tea's pretty watery to begin with. right? So like a hot day, nice sweet tea, or lemonade. Those are like the only two I'll usually do.
And the other thing, if you're getting it from, a store of some sort or like a restaurant,
Which
you're
is already so
getting
watered down to begin with.
you're getting yourself ripped off for the pop, because they put half to three quarters of the glass worth of ice, and you're not getting as much pop as you could get.
Yeah, like I think it's fine if you're eating at the place and they have like unlimited refills. Like you're sitting in McDonald's, you're the one who put your own amount of ice in there anyway. But also you just paid for the cup, so you're just gonna get refills over and over again.
Yeah,
But
although
yeah,
some
like you go to a place like Sonic where the entire cup is crushed ice before they fill it up.
yeah, but it's like you can't say that. You do, you do what? You can't say that on stream. He's confessing crime on. But um, what was I gonna say? Yeah. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Actually, some McDonald's here stopped doing the free refills.
Wow, that's crazy. I haven't been to one that did that.
I've been to a couple, and it's like I don't really want to go back to those ones because
Yeah, I
that.
think like what was it, Friday? We stopped at McDonald's because we were gonna have dinner here, right? But we needed to be out of the house for a few hours, and like, well, why spend money? Or like a lot of money. Technically, money was still spent, but let's just get like a drink and sit at McDonald's for a little bit since we have to be out of the house anyway. It's cheap,
Mm,
and I was smart. I got a soft drink because you could sit there and refill it over and over again. Marsupial got like a strawberry smoothie, and it's like, ah, well, guess who can't refill his drink before we leave?
yeah. Yeah, that's why I usually like going to McDonald's. Well, a lot of places, McDonald's, I think, started the trend. Now a lot of places do it because of that, and now they're not doing it, or at least a couple of ones I know about. I gotta find out about other ones. McDonald's is too rich for my taste now. I can't afford Mickey D's. Says Alpha.
Oh, at this point, Whataburger's cheaper than McDonald's, which is, I mean, honestly great because Whataburger's better anyway. But it's like you used to go to McDonald's if you wanted to save a couple bucks or whatever, right? It's like, why would I go there now when the place that used to be more expensive for higher quality is less expensive, and you get more food. You get a Texas-sized serving at Whataburger.
Yeah, I usually just get a junior McDouble or a junior chicken meal, or just them by themselves, just because they are not as expensive. I can get the meal for like $6 or something like that, Canadian. Hey, that's what he just said. Alpha just said. When it comes to value, you might as well go to Whataburger. I have never been to a Whataburger yet.
Well, it's a Texas thing. And I remember back in maybe it was like 2014 when I had looked at it. That at the time there was only 14 Whataburger outside of Texas. But then since then, they were purchased by a Chicago conglomerate, and there's a ton of Whataburgers other places. Depending on demand, it might only be a matter of time before one eventually ends up near you.
Yeah. There's actually a few Chick-fil-A's in my neck of the woods. Although, actually, when I was in the States there, in the teachers union apparently for the Kingdom Bound main stage area, they do the food and they bring in Chick-fil-A chicken burgers that you can eat, as well as the Domino's pizza. So I had my first Chick-fil-A chicken burger, whatever you want to call
Chick-fil-A
it,
doesn't sell chicken burgers.
or
They
chicken
sell
on a
chicken
burger.
sandwiches.
Yeah, well, whatever you want to call it. Hey,
Well,
Flit.
listen, we just had this argument with British people like a month ago. For something to be a burger means it needs to take the form that burger comes from. And burger comes from the Hamburg steak put between two slices of bread. The bun is not what makes something a burger. It's the way the meat is, right? You can have a hamburger between two slices of sandwich bread. Um, so to be a chicken burger means you have to mince up the chicken meat into a patty and then cook it like you do a hamburger. Same with like a turkey burger or anything else like that.
Okay.
Chick-fil-A sells grilled and I think also fried chicken sandwiches. I think they have both of those options.
Okay, I'll say chicken sandwich because to me, in some ways, a burger is a sandwich as well. But
It
I
is. It's a
guess
type of sandwich. It's
yeah.
literally just a Hamburg steak between two slices of bread.
Yeah, let's see. Flit's here. Hey, Flit. Did they have a line of cars at the Chick-fil-A you were at? No, there was no cars involved
It
whatsoever.
was
Because
catering, right?
sort of, you had to stand in line like you would at like a concession stand too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, good. You need order. Like, with a group of people that big, you can't just like leave a buffet of Chick-fil-A out. Like you need order, but it's
Yeah,
effectively catering.
yeah. Alpha says I made a turkey burger last week. Flet says, why don't the British understand English?
Because
I
they
don't know.
destroyed their own language,
I was
right?
good.
Because we actually speak closer British English than the modern British do. And part of that is because we just kept evolving along the line that they did. But at a certain point, after textile fabrics became cheap, the upper class people couldn't distinguish themselves from the lower class people by clothes anymore. So they started creating a type of speech we call posh, which started incorporating a lot of French into their speech, certain accents, certain words that were made up just for it, which then started driving this kind of like language arms race between different classes of British society until it went back and forth and their language is almost completely indistinguishable from a foreign language compared to their old way of speaking. They come up with words that the rest of the world adopts, and then they decide they don't want to use those words anymore, like soccer. There's actually a great channel for this.
Yeah.
If you've never watched it, it's called Lost in the Pond, and it's a guy from the UK who, I think from England proper, because there's several places in the UK, who moved over here. I think maybe it was after he got married. I'm trying to remember his exact backstory. Big channel, and being from England, he's always wondering like, why do we say things so differently over here? And 9 times out of 10, when he goes to look up what the note that got lost in the pond, it usually turns out that we picked up the word from them, and we're still saying it that way. They're the ones that changed it.
Well, Alpha says, oi, gov.
But burger specifically, this is one that bothered me when this was like a big thing a month ago during the World Cup. Burger specifically is an American thing, right? Like it comes from a German name. The actual concept probably dates back to a Russian mincemeat sandwich that had moved its way across from Europe. But it developed here in the United States, where somebody took a Hamburg steak, which was named after their hometown of Hamburg, Germany, decided to
Yeah.
serve it as a sandwich, and we started calling them hamburgers. To the point that people even refer to America as Burgerland, and yet they were trying to tell us what is and isn't a hamburger. Because the British think the bun is what defines it, even though hamburgers have existed before the bun and without the bun. Any slice of bread, or two slices of bread, to make a sandwich makes it a hamburger.
Well, let's see. Alpha says soccer is slang abbreviation of association football created in the late 19th century England. Students shortened the association sock and then added the Oxford to make soccer. Sure, I'll buy
Well, I
that
know
for
the part too was because of somebody who they wanted to find a way to refer to players of it, right? So somebody who socks is a soccer, and then that became the name of the sport. Um, that is basically what he wrote is the history of how it got it. Even football basically just means peasant sports, more or less. It's any sport that you play on foot. Rugby was a different form of non-association football at the time. So it's actually still appropriate that we refer to American football as football since it grew out of rugby. They're all just forms of football. It's a ball sport that is played on foot.
So could you consider baseball, football?
Yeah, technically. Well, because like there were horse sports back in the day too, right? Like
Yeah.
equestrian sports, like croquet on horseback, or there were tons of different horse sports. So it was a distinction between horse and foot sports, and foot sports were mostly peasant sports.
Yeah, what else can I think of? For well, I can't. Basketball. Basketball is football.
Yeah, field hockey, or even regular hockey, technically, if you want to say, which ice hockey is what we call regular hockey now because it's the most popular. Field hockey should be regular hockey because it predates ice hockey. But hockey is a foot sport.
Okay, this is actually looking not too bad. I'm not sure. It's a puck
Yeah,
is
you could
not a
argue
ball.
that ice hockey has moved out of being a football because they use a puck. Original hockey, field hockey, does use balls, though.
Street hockey. They use a ball. They use usually a tennis ball.
Yeah, some type. I've seen several different types used. Kind of like whatever you can pick up, right?
Yeah. Alpha says my brother just showed up with some pizza. Pizza time.
Oh, you got to go get the Pizza Time soundtrack from
I
Spider-Man
tried to.
2.
Excuse me. Oh,
How?
okay. I tried. It's how Rick and how Metal gets Metal here still. I tried to connect on my computer, but for some reason the connection my Discord isn't connecting to the computer for some reason. Like it has been issues been happening lately that I can't enter voice for some reason
Oh
Okay.
man, that might have been preferred.
on my computer. Like some reason on Discord like we just can't enter voice. But my one thing I want to talk about is like I don't know what the hell I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do wrong on Rim because I don't know what because the original plan was that like Dylan voiced the skeleton robot.
Hey Fizz, thanks for showing up and immediately making the conversation about you.
Okay, I'm just talking about the struggle. What's what struggle I've been having lately. Like I don't know what to do now. what to do now. Like I got going different directions. So
I just get somebody else to do the voice or do it yourself.
no, I gotta change the whole story because no one even remembers the dialogue from the first episode anyway. So I don't. I can make basically ignoring the pilot, essentially.
Okay, good for you. Let's see. Flit says it's not Friday. Friday is pizza day. How can we have pizza when
I know
it's
you
not
run.
Friday?
I forgot what his name is. The teacher from that one anime I never watched about the alien assassin that
Koro
teacher in
Koro
school.
Koro
Cool, dark
Sen.
sensei, dark teacher. It's literally
Yeah,
just dark teacher.
yeah. Anyways, as I was trying to read Flit's statement, it's not Friday. Friday is pizza day. How can you have pizza when it's not Friday? It doesn't make sense. Who are you, Sheldon?
Tuesday. Tuesday was always pizza day for me at my household because Tuesday was payday, and on payday my dad would go get pizza.
But I think this monster this monster's name is very lame. It's literally just dark teacher in Japanese,
Yeah.
or black teacher, whatever. But it's not black.
Yeah,
It's
it's actually
yellow.
closer to black teacher, yeah, because dark
Yeah,
would be
but
Yami.
okay, yeah, but black teacher, even though he's yellow, so and that doesn't make any sense. Uh, it's like
Yeah,
yeah, but
I
like
honestly, I think that it's competent. I read a few chapters. I think it's written well for what it is. It just can't keep my attention, so I ended up dropping it.
I've never watched it, so I don't know. I can't say anything on it.
I don't know if the adaptation is better at keeping attention, like using the visuals or not. I was reading the manga.
Well, obviously, I don't know either way because I just,
You just saw a funny looking character from the anime you decided to draw it, and
Yep,
you know that anime is popular.
yep.
So no,
Which is a fair enough reason, honestly.
This is called Manga Monday, so, found some weird looking thing that I thought would be interesting to draw, and I drew it.
I know there's a live action as well. There's live action movies in this as well for some reason.
Yeah, a lot of stuff like that get live action movies. I really like Japanese live action movies, even when they don't have like quite a big budget, because they go all out in trying to capture like the spirit of whatever they're adapting. Usually the spirit of the animated adaptation, even before that. So they go like really wacky with it, and I think it makes it fun.
But I think the reason why I haven't watched it so far because this concept just doesn't excite me at all. School teacher,
Uh,
they have to kill the teacher because the alien pretends to be a teacher because it's going to destroy the world apparently. If it yeah, and I was like
uh,
I got kind of slapped my head from it. It's kind of dumb.
Flit says they let a Japanese tentacle monster be a teacher. I don't think I like where this is going.
Well, I mean, he has tentacles, but he's not. It's not a rapist anime. This isn't a go to guy anime.
It's actually pretty tame, yeah. Because I think there are even like middle school kids too. There's like nothing weird that goes on in it.
No. But what it
Well,
could be, this is still Japanese. It doesn't matter they're in middle school or high school. It doesn't matter. You can still have them get sexually assaulted if you wanted to.
yeah. Well, I know what the answer for Fizz will be for this, but not sure about anybody else. Anybody else see Spider-Man yet?
I'm not going to.
But I haven't. Probably not. But I'm probably going to see an End of Oak Street this month.
Okay. Well, I saw
Yeah, actually, if I
it.
had to choose between the two, I would probably pick End of Oak Street as well.
Yeah, I'd probably suggest that myself. I didn't mind the spider. I saw it. I didn't mind it. Wasn't great. It's been the weakest
I
of
know
all
they I know
four.
they made Jean Grey to a villain without the Phoenix. Like she's not possessed by the Phoenix, yet she commits murders and kills innocent people. I thought you said
Well,
Punisher does so Punisher only kills criminals. She kills and a bunch
well,
of Jean Grey like kills a bunch of innocent people. So uh
well. I wasn't gonna try and give away any spoilers as to the villain. Nobody knew
Oh,
that.
dude, Fizz got yelled at in my Discord, like I think yesterday, for spoiling that for a movie he doesn't
I
even
mean
plan on watching.
I don't think anyone should care about the MCU now. So that's why I don't have an issue spoiling it. Like
Yeah,
why
but
should anyone care?
that doesn't matter if you think that. If other people care, it's still just as rude.
I try not to be spoiled too much for people for things on this channel. Usually, because I don't like when
Uh,
stuff like that gets spoiled for me. I'm glad I saw the movie before Vince spoiled it for me. And now that the cat's out of the bag, I don't think that was really the best villain. I think it ended up making it more just a crossover movie to bring the X-Men into the universe.
I mean, why introduce her as just a villain first? I don't get it. That doesn't make sense.
Well, obviously, I don't
Why
think it
not just
make
use
it
them? Why not just use Emma Frost and have her do all this old same thing, all the same stuff?
because I don't think it would make sense for the end of the movie. I'll say that without saying too much. Because Emma Frost and Jean Grey are two totally different people, and
But
you are
there
dealing
isn't
with
a
the MCU, so they could change a
hmm,
whole lot of crap, which they already have. But
yes.
let's see. Flint says mutants in the MCU are villains, and
How do you know that?
Bolviaca.
They introduce mutants. So how we know?
Well, we did have Wanda and Quicksilver, although they weren't really put
Yeah,
in
but they
as
were kind
mutants.
of they were skirting the line as to whether they were mutants or
Exactly.
not. Like they didn't have
Like,
to treat them as
but
mutants.
because they didn't own the X Men, they didn't own the X Men rights when they was introduced. That's why they were skirting the line.
I
Yeah,
would assume
but
though, okay, because all the people who work on this stuff really like the more modern end of Marvel. I'm talking like from Civil War on, and if they're going to start pulling from anything for mutants, they're probably going to start pulling from like Avengers versus X-Men, which very obviously the mutants were the villains in that one. It wasn't
Mm.
even like they were trying to play like these sides both had justification or anything. Like they tried with Civil War. Like the X-Men were just straight up the villains in that.
Okay, but that's just not. Yeah, and the Cyclops turned evil and then killed, then just started doing a whole bunch of Magneto things. But I don't know. I don't know why did they need the X Men to turn to Brotherhood to the Brotherhood of Mutants when the Brotherhood of Mutants already exists.
Well, at the
But
time
then
they
again,
didn't. They were dissolved, and
so they had
Magneto
the
was
X Men
even
just
working
become.
with Cyclops. So basically, the Brotherhood of the Mutants was part of the X Men. They
Okay.
merged.
Which I think they did. I think they were. I mean, they currently are. I mean, even though the Krakoa stuff is over, I think they still are. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think they are. Well, technically, the X Men dissolved for a time. So when they came back, I don't think there was any difference between before and after they dissolved. So yeah, they probably still are.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So there's no. I don't think there's really a difference between the Brotherhood and X Men. It's just kind of the same. It's been like that for a long time now.
Yeah, well, I haven't been following Marvel enough to know one way or another.
That's for the best. Every single
Man,
time
man.
anything gets brought to my attention, I'm just disappointed. I'm like, why did you even tell me about this? I don't want to follow this stuff anymore. But people
I
still
mean, I
feel the
was
need to
not.
tell me.
I was not disappointed when I found the news about Lex Luthor banging Rouge the Bat. I didn't care. I just mostly like whatever. Okay, whatever. It's not out of character for Rouge at all or Lex. So
I agree, Flit. The Cyclops has been done dirty for too long. He's been dirty like since way back in the day. I would say since the original Dark Phoenix arc, they just don't care who Scott's supposed to be and do whatever with him at any time. Like he's
yeah, I
been done
know.
dirty longer than like almost any other character has.
I know. But then again, like are the X Men even really superheroes? Like I don't know. I never really liked the X Men. Keep in mind.
I
I
mean,
mean, I
they
get.
are in the same fashion that the Fantastic Four both are and aren't. Stan kind of treated them the same.
The difference is that Fantastic Four and the X Four don't do any kind don't do any kind of stuff that the X Men have been doing for decades now.
Um,
I don't think we're ever gonna get a storyline where the Fantastic Four are trying to commit genocide or whatever, or make some
Actually, I'm
kind
pretty
of
sure
fascist
Reed
regime.
has. Now
Mr.
on like an
Fantastic
alien
has probably
planet or
on them.
whatever, but yeah. But that's the thing. It's like the four different members of the Fantastic Four are individuals with their own like motivations and
Mm.
trajectories, and a lot of times they do things that don't line up with the other members of their crew. It's
Mm.
just the way they're written and treated.
Well, exactly. But the X Men, the X Men, I don't get it. Like Professor X alone has done so many horrible stuff with his powers. He's I don't get why is Professor X such a ridiculously bad person. I don't get why. I don't get why they made the founder of the X Men such an awful person for some reason.
well, he wasn't, I believe, originally, but
I've been back in the
storylines.
Stan Lee run, but from the '80s onward, they just making Professor X this
I'm
awful.
pretty sure the trauma uh, blast or whatever, where he uses his mind to traumatize people by bringing back their like issues, was in the original run. So like he's always been kind of there.
But yeah, but from the '80s onward, they just been making that they just piling on really bad, really awful behavior onto Professor X to the point like how is he even supposed to be? How is he supposed to be a superhero again?
My thing is that this is just Marvel, right? Like almost anything you can say about the X-Men, you could say about 80% of Marvel characters. A lot of them really aren't heroes. There's some of them that do kind of like rise up to it, but with the long enough stretch of time that these characters have been written to, like, God, it's like trying to say Tony Stark's a hero. Like I can't really say
Oh,
that in the same breath.
even Tony Stark is probably not as bad as Professor X. That was stuff Professor X been doing.
It depends.
Oh,
There are
Like
times where he's worse.
well,
I know,
I would have to say no
I know.
because you think about what uh, Submariner, Tony, I think.
But some mirrors never intended to be a hero though. That's the thing.
Yeah, well, if I can finish my statement, Submariner, Professor Xavier, Black Bolt, Doctor Strange, and Tony Stark are part of the Illuminati, in
Mm.
Marvel. So they're always doing nasty things behind the scenes.
Yeah, I don't know what happened because it didn't really seem like Stan himself was this type of like envious person of intelligent people because this a lot of it didn't really start unraveling until after he wasn't the main writer anymore. But somewhere
Yeah.
along the line, a lot of the writers at Marvel, you can tell have like this deep dark envy towards like people that are more intelligent than them because every single genius character starts doing like unspeakably bad things.
Oh, let's see. Flip says, when the gaming industry collapses, which IPs are you guys snapping up for pennies on the dollar?
Well, I need basically Microsoft to dissolve the Xbox gaming division so that Rare can no longer own its properties, and then I'm gonna go pick up Jet Force Gemini because nobody else wants it.
I'll take Mega Man. Maybe Mario.
I don't.
What was that?
I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. I'd probably just try to make my own franchises, which I still can't do because I don't have any money. I'm probably tomorrow. I'm probably going to harass some more businesses around my area to see if they to see if they find me annoying enough, they'll just give me some minor job.
I
Well,
mean, I kind of already started. I do have. I'm waiting to get around to drawing it, but I do have a script for something that is kind of a spiritual successor to Jet Force Gemini. Anyway,
oh,
so I don't really need Jet Force Gemini. I can just make my own.
although there's not many people here, Saturday evening, me and Meadow will be on together, and we will be doing my character creation for at least for the one shot for the X Dynamis Chaos role playing game.
The official name of the role playing game section is the Entropy Effect. If you just wanted to know.
Oh, okay.
Uh, okay. I thinking about very soon trying to write a script for a distortion story, just as a test. The real trick is that I've never written anything with political intrigue or mystery before, like this before. So I guess this is new territory for me. I got to structure it correctly.
Yeah, just work backwards. Like, create your total outline first, and then once you have the part for the first script, then you can work on the
Mm,
first script.
yeah,
But
I
just make
already
a
know the
roadmap.
bad guys. I already know the bad guys probably going to be Five Long, the Japanese devil worshipping cyborg who kidnaps teenage girls.
Yeah, because Fizz has a hate boner for Go Nagai.
I mean, I already didn't like Devilman, so Devilman Crybaby. That was like one of the worst anime things
Dude,
I've
I
seen ever.
love Getter Robo. Getter Robo is a great series.
So, me watching Cutie Honey, and Enema didn't make it any better. I mean, Enema feels like what if her Hapasai from Round One Half was the main character? That's how I felt.
Yeah. Well. So, Metal, what do you think of my Koro-sensei?
Yeah, it's competent enough.
Let me see. It actually looks pretty good. Again, it's a non-human character, so it's actually pretty easy. In the style art style, so it's actually pretty easy for you to draw. Just try making more stuff like this for your own comics.
Mm. Well,
Oh, he
yes and no.
might once he gets to what's her name? The doctor that makes the monsters and stuff.
Oh, Professor Evolution.
Yeah, yeah.
But even that, I probably haven't got that sort of thing set up right away for her. But yeah, she could probably definitely make something like this. And when I introduce aliens and stuff like that, in my universe, I've got all sorts of wacky things that I can do. But the superhero stuff is my main thing. So
Yeah. But aliens aren't foreign to superhero stuff.
yeah. And the thing is, I'm already starting not to do a lot of my own drawing. I'm doing a lot of coloring at the moment.
But you do still have to do the initial character art
Yeah,
the artist to go off of.
yeah, which I gotta start getting more done because yeah, they're my characters. I'm creating. There's some stuff that I'm gonna maybe leave up to them, like sometimes some supporting cast or whatever. But I probably should even be doing that.
Yeah, it just depends, right? Like, I told you before we came on here to promote it, right? Phasma and I are working on the Dreamscape Dilemma together, and
Yeah,
while like all of the main important characters I designed, things that aren't that important, like in the first dream, there's a bunch of stuff that are yokai, like furniture that turns into yokai and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, just
yeah,
go to town. Like, this is the type of thing that needs to be there. Just design however you want.
yeah. Like,
Uh,
uh, I've got somebody doing toxic though, and like I haven't come up with a design for look for his dad or his mom, so or even the bad guy, the not the bad. Well, I guess the bad guys, but um,
They're kind of all bad guys.
the the mafia type guys. I haven't actually really got any looks for them, so like I'm half like you can go to town on that. Create their looks.
uh, I still haven't tried reading the manga for The Witch and the Beast because I heard it's on hiatus. This, so I hope it does resume. Try to resume because I watched the entire first season of anime, and I assume, like I said, I assume it's going to be his only season because I don't expect it to get a second season because nobody cared about it when it came out when the anime adaptation came out because Orisa Yatsura remake came out at the same time.
Oh yeah, there's no way I'd be watching anything in front of the Urusei Yatsura remake when it was happening. I loved that, but yeah, Rick, you really should
Exactly.
just let your artists work on those like however they want because it's not like they're going to be recurring characters. You just got to
Yeah,
keep them consistent within the book.
yeah.
If you know the Witch and the Beast is about, that's about a wizard named Ashaf. It's a kind of episodic anime, but it's a wizard named Ashaf and this demon who was cursed to become a human woman named Godot, and they travel around dealing with magical mishaps that always results in them fighting some kind of magical mass murderer. Like this just always leads to that. It leads to them fighting some magical mass murderer. And then yeah, and then so they just travel around the world. That
Um,
well, because the Godot was trying to figure out how to cure her curse. Was the Nebulous go? We do know who the one the who cursed her, Angela, but we know we meet her at the end of the first season, but it doesn't really matter. She's it's episodic show. They're just going around different arcs,
yeah,
fighting magical mishaps. Hopefully they can find Angela.
Rick.
yeah.
I noticed an issue with your line art. You didn't connect the sleeve in the back on the left side of the image between the two tentacles.
Does that premise sound interesting to you, Rick?
Not
Or
really, but
what about you, Metal?
No, I don't really care.
And the reason why is how I'm explaining it, or what?
It could be.
just mass murder. Couple people going around stopping a mass murder or doing mass murder. Not really.
No. It's people. No. It's a wizard named Ashaf and Godot, his companion, and they go around trying to deal with magical mishaps that always leads to them fighting some magical mass murderer. Like it just always leads there.
Okay, well, yeah, it's just not really my thing. Well, I guess maybe it might depend on how it's done, but it's all about the execution, as we've said so many times on this show. And getting the right audience. Because even with the right execution, if you got the wrong audience, it ain't gonna help. Right, Metal?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think a premise in and of itself isn't worth the breath it took to say it.
Yeah, but I like the show. Obviously, I mean, I watched the entire season, so I obviously had to like it. I had to like it. At least to do that so fast.
Well, I must say, somehow I
'Cause
think it's something that would just be up your alley. Which is, all right, you're the person that they're looking for.
I do. I was. Well, I did have a minor issue because I was craving some kind of diversity. Like, can they deal with something else? Is the case not going to lead them to finding some kind of magical serial killer or something? Or no, it's always some kind of serial killer or some kind of terrorist who also kills bunch of people. So I'm like,
Well,
it's
with
always
like
gonna like.
any series, you do run the risk of, in one way or the other, of like alienating a potential audience, right? There's some people that do really just want more of the same all the time. Like, I come here for this very specific reason. And if you start doing things that aren't the specific reason, I might stop watching it. And then there's some people who just want things to be different every single time, and if you start doing the same thing over and over, it kind of bothers them. This actually was the exact divide onto why they lost half their audience after the original show lead for Supernatural left, because they completely changed directions and they stopped kind of doing like the monster of the week thing.
Mm,
And it became ultimately more popular after that, but it took a while of the show like refining what it needed to be about before it gained more popularity. But whichever of those two directions you go, you're going to alienate like half your audience.
mm.
Yeah. But then again, you might find a little bit of a new audience too after alienating, but just got to be careful.
But at least I think they're gonna do something different because in that last episode they introduced interdimensional travel and they're going to vampire world. I'm like, I wonder where that's gonna go. But I haven't read the manga, so I don't know. I assume it goes somewhere else different. Maybe I don't know. At least it's, it's a different world, so I don't know.
You know, it's a series that never needed any change to its formula. And while it's gone long enough that it's changed its formula several times, almost every single time they do, people compare it back to the older stuff. Scooby Doo.
Oh yeah,
Right. Like, I think the only beneficial change to the formula that really spiced things up in a positive way was when they started inviting celebrities to come onto the show, right? But
yeah,
after that, every other formula change is like it's just not as good as the original series. You should have just done more of the same.
yeah, yeah. The thing is, they added characters and they took away characters.
Yeah, I
That,
think
that doesn't change the formula though.
the
That
movies were a
doesn't
good
change the
place to
formula.
do something outside the formula. The TV show should have just pretty much always stayed the formula. Because like the movie change was pretty much, what if the thing wasn't a man in a mask, right? Like, almost every single time. Some of them a little more comedic than others. I think Zombie Island is when they decided they wanted to start taking it kind of seriously. But the movies were a
I
fine
mean, they
place to
they
do
fought
something
real
like that.
monsters before. Like there was a 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo, I believe, and they fought real monsters in that.
Yeah, yeah, that was like the first time I would say the formula was really changed in the show.
yeah. And I
Before
didn't mind.
that, even having celebrities, it was still all the same formula.
And I actually didn't mind 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo. The only thing I found that I didn't like, again, I think it was one of the ones that first started very limited, like 13, maybe 20 episodes in the season or whatever, you know, and they didn't really cover a lot of the ghost part in it.
I think, as well with that, the reason they did that is because stuff like Scooby Doo and the Boo Brothers and stuff like we're starting to get popular. So like, what if we do a show that just runs like this, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't really like it as much in show form. Like, I still watch it. I don't think it's as good as the stuff before it. To me, the only thing that was really interesting was what's his name, Shim Sham. I really liked that character,
Flim
but I think
Flam.
I also would have, yeah, Flim Flam, whatever it was. I thought he was a cool character, but he would have been cooler in like a normal Scooby Doo masked villain of the week type thing.
Yeah. But also, I think Scooby Doo did really generate a lot of whatchamacallit, copycats.
Oh, no, no. It's mostly Hanna-Barbera making copycats of Scooby Doo themselves.
Yeah, a lot were Hanna-Barbera, but I think a lot were other ones too. Other
Like,
companies.
what other studio tried to
I think
replicate Scooby Doo? I'm
Deke did
thinking it's
a
mostly just
couple at
Hanna-Barbera.
the time.
Most just Hanna-Barbera just trying to use the same formula again.
Alpha was I was catching up on the stream in triple speed, and Fizz just spoiled the villain of Spider-Man. Hello, Outcast. Well, sorry about that, Alpha. Alpha says, I've been avoiding everything this entire time. I have not even seen the trailer. Well, the trailer wouldn't have spoiled it for you, that's for sure.
I haven't seen a trailer either, but that's because I also have absolutely no intent in watching it. It's amazing how easy it is to just avoid trailers these days, since everybody watches everything on demand through the internet. Back in the day, if you wanted to avoid a trailer, because a lot of them would just be commercials on TV sometimes, or it would be the preview before the movie, but we still have those. You'd have to like either change the channel or actually use the commercial break as an excuse to get up and do something else. But the trailer was still probably just playing on the TV anyway.
Yeah, but you might be lucky enough not to hear it. Little, definitely if
You
you're
could just
away.
mute the TV, right?
Yeah.
But then if you mute it and you're not paying attention, you might miss when your thing came back on. So that's kind
Yeah.
of like a risk you have to take.
Yeah.
I do kind of miss commercials. Like I don't mind watching Hulu, right, where we have ad breaks and that. And I think sometimes on Prime we do too. Even though I think like Marsupial hates it. And the reason is I like to get up constantly while I'm watching stuff. Like,
I miss commercials because back when we had TV commercials, the companies had to be creative with the advertising rather than just had the most bland voiceover narration possible over some product trying to sell.
Anyway, I get pretty restless, right? Like I could force myself to sit down and watch an entire movie, even like a 3-hour movie in the theater. But when I'm at home, I like to get up a lot, and I don't like to have to pause to get up. The commercial breaks are great because it gives me an excuse to like go take a leak real quick, or grab a snack, or a drink, or something like that. You know, it's the perfect little natural pause.
Yeah. Uh, Outcast says great movie. Saw it Friday morning. I saw it Saturday evening, and well, I wouldn't say it was a great movie myself, but everybody to their own. Flip says, I'll be honest, I didn't even know there was a new Spider-Man movie. In fact, I have no idea what movies are even out or upcoming. I guess good for you.
It's not like there's a lot of stuff worth watching.
Yeah.
By the way, I recently tried about. I'm recently rewatching My Home Hero, which is an anime that came out in 2023. And even on my second viewing, like the suspense and everything still holds up. It's like wow.
Well,
If you
that's
don't know,
good.
that's about some guy named Tetsuo kills a member of the Yakuza because he's dating his daughter and he was going to kill his daughter for some financial scheme. Uh, once he realized, but then Tetsuo realized that he has to cover up that murder since he was a Yakuza guy, and now was a Yakuza guy, but the son of the boss. So he has to cover up the murder, and he's into detective novels, so he knows all how to cover up traces tracks of the murder. But unfortunately, he's getting involved with Yakuza now, and Yakuza want to are investigating him hard.
Ah,
Then he has to do everything to protect his family.
all right, I guess.
I mean, we have a show about some guy, ordinary guy, seemingly ordinary guy who has now go up against the mob. I mean, that premise has been done before. There's another anime I really like that has basically that same premise, Taxi. What makes the show special is how well the suspense is written. It's like, oh, he's trying to hide the body, decompose the body. All they go to find the body while they sneak in his house. He's trying to lie through text messages. Because they bugged his house. Et cetera, et cetera. It goes on like that.
Yeah.
He has to give his right wife a script.
Uh,
A lot of stuff like that happens over the course of the show. Um, then again, what I'm saying probably isn't making anyone interested in that.
Well, I mean, to be honest, it's hard to be interested in anything you say when you can't hold a conversation and it's just a bunch of non sequiturs after each other.
Mm.
You know, we'll suddenly be talking about one thing and then you'll come in with something else, and it's like that doesn't really motivate people to want to hold a conversation.
Most because I'm just not interested in what you're talking about. Like Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Like, what is there to say? What is there to say about it?
probably not much, but yeah.
I haven't seen the movie. I have no
Yeah.
interest in seeing this movie because I don't like any of Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Like, let me make this clear. The first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man: Homecoming, legit felt like Iron Man DLC, like a downloadable content for an Iron Man game. That's legit how it feels,
Yeah,
but it's a
it
movie.
was like Iron Man Jr.
Yeah.
The Vulture, Vulture played by he plays Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton's Vulture pretty much feels like an extra Iron Man villain, even though Vulture in the comics is a Spider-Man villain, but in the movie they basically make him an extra Iron Man villain that Iron Man is too lazy to deal with, so he has Spider-Man deal with.
Well, it was a problem
Yeah,
I've
so he has
always
Peter.
had with how they were treating Spider-Man in the MCU, right? Like I liked his first appearance in Civil War, even though I did not like Civil War as a movie. Um, but I thought he was
yeah.
fine in it. But then when we get to his movie, it is just Iron Man Jr. I'm like, you know, Spider Man's more popular than Iron Man. It doesn't matter if Iron Man's been driving the MCU. You bring Spider Man in, and he can easily just like stand on his own. He doesn't need anything to do with Iron Man, really.
Yeah.
I know.
He's a popular Marvel character.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing with Mysterio and Far From Home, where they made because I only saw Homecoming, but I heard they did the same thing in Far From Home, where they had Mysterio as basically an Iron Man villain he was too lazy to deal with.
Well,
But that's what they did with
Mr.
Mysterio. But I know in the comic
Well,
books he's not an Iron Man villain; he's a Spider-Man villain. But at the same time,
yeah.
the movie just wrote him as an Iron Man villain he was too lazy to deal with.
Well,
Just like they did with Vulture.
Iron Man wasn't even around. Iron Man was dead by that time.
I know, but at the same time, they made Mysterio backstories. They hate Tony Stark because he used to work at Stark Tech, and
Yeah.
and then Tony Stark snubbed him on one of his technologies. Basically, took all credit, and that made Quentin Beck mad. That's why he became a villain.
Yeah. Which, you know
And then,
what?
and then, and then
I don't mind that because technically Mysterio's origin has nothing to do with Spider-Man. He was,
I know. In the comic books, he was a film special effects artist who was mad he never could never become an actor because he was too ugly. But obviously that wouldn't work because they cast what's his name? He was Lou Bloom in
Bubble
Nightcrawler.
Boy.
I never seen Bubble Boy, but I've seen I've seen Nightcrawler
uh,
with Lou. I forgot what's the actor's name. I forget his
yeah,
name escapes me.
yeah,
Jake Gyllenhaal.
yeah. Well, the other thing too
Bubble
is
Boy was funny. I
the,
loved
the,
Bubble Boy.
it still could have worked. They just could have hired a different actor, one that wasn't so good looking.
I know.
Or they could have hired him still, and they could have done their job and just used like prosthetics and makeup to make him look ugly.
Well, yeah, that too.
That's
That
always an
Exactly.
too.
option.
Yeah, that too, for sure.
And like actually make him look ugly. Don't just make like how Ryan Reynolds was playing Deadpool, but instead of making himself look really ugly, it just looked like shrink wrapped Ryan Reynolds.
But the making Vulture like an Iron Man villain, he was too lazy. He was too lazy to deal with, so he had Spider-Man deal with it. That's just that's kind of like the dumbest thing ever when you think about it.
You know, the thing I hated the most had almost nothing to do with Vulture too. It was literally everything outside of Vulture. I thought there, like the original like Homecoming, there was a solid like 30-minute short film in there if you just clip the scenes of like Spider-Man interacting with the Vulture. If you only had those scenes, you could have like a half-hour short film that was pretty good. Everything outside of
another
that was
issue I had
bad.
with what that movie. What that movie was that fact that Spider-Man was super incompetent, despite having been Spider-Man being a superhero for like a while before even meeting Iron Man. So why is he ultra super incompetent?
Why does he need Iron Man technology for like everything?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I didn't really like. What I don't really like what's.
I knew that Dad didn't mind. Why is he so incompetent? He's like as competent as Kick Ass was in the first movie, despite
But that's the problem,
just
right?
not being.
Him relying on Stark's tech is the same as him being incompetent, right? Because part of Peter's character was always that he made his own stuff. That's part of his like personal genius and competency. Those things go hand in hand with each other.
Yeah, he had to
No.
figure this stuff out.
In the film, the issue I'm talking about in the film, he was super clumsy, and he literally every time he tried to save somebody, always be in disaster, like always, like it comes off more like Kick Ass than Spider Man.
Yeah, but I'm saying that these
Like
two things are attached to each other. Like one of them is happening because of the other one. It's how they're developing the character altogether.
no, from what I heard, they were writing Peter more like they were writing Miles in Ultimate Comics, but I'm like, why?
Dude, even
I'm
Miles was
confused.
not that incompetent.
I know even Miles is not that incompetent. I don't know, at least not in the comics. So no. So I'm like, what the hell?
Well,
Uh,
I forget haven't read a lot of the original Spider-Mans. I'm not. I forget how.
I've read the old some old Steve Ditko era Spider-Man comics. He was never that incompetent.
Yeah, like he created his own web shooters and all that. So
I know. Obviously, I talk about the tech. Talk about the him actually saving the day and fighting the villains.
Yeah,
He's
but
never
like I
that
said, these
incompetent
things go hand in hand with each other.
yeah,
to
and
let
almost every time, the first time, well, it's pretty much the same thing in every superhero
this
comic.
wasn't his first rodeo in the film. That was the issue. I was having. This
Yeah,
wasn't his first rodeo. So why is he
but
letting a bunch of otherwise normal criminals who just have advanced laser guns or whatever blow up a store? I don't get it.
because he hasn't faced criminals with advanced laser guns yet, so
No, at the
that's
same time, these shouldn't be hard to be than any regular criminal with a gun.
yeah,
I get what he's
but
saying because I'm talking about it's not his first rodeo. They're trying to have their cake and eat it too, where they're skipping Spider-Man's origin. He's already even been in another movie where he's faced off against people more competent than the people he's currently facing off in the movie.
yeah,
But they're trying to also have it to like this is week one Spider-Man.
yeah, and I get that. I guess my point was just,
He couldn't threaten people. He couldn't threaten people properly, even though he's been Spider-Man before meeting Tony Stark. Like I'm confused. It's like he wasn't a superhero before Tony Stark
yeah,
came
but
in.
look
It's like
what
they
his
trying to.
also look what his costume was before meeting Tony Stark.
I know,
Eh,
but at the same time, why he shouldn't be this incompetent. Like he can't interrogate somebody properly. He can't do anything properly. This is week one, even though he's been doing it for months at this point.
Are you gonna let Rick finish a sentence?
but what was I thinking about? You know, I'm not even sure where I was going, but
I know
like,
he cut off like 6 of your sentences in a row, Rick.
let's see, week, well, not week one, but trying to think of all my various thoughts about, he, as I, one thing I was saying was about, like with him not having all that spider gear, having his costume wasn't even his regular costume. So yeah, he's been Spider-Man for a while, but he hasn't done anything about being Spider-Man. He's just been, yeah, facing a whole bunch of thugs. He hasn't gone up against any major villains with any sort of tech. So I can see how they're doing it, which is, yeah, there's a lot of incompetence there, I think. But it's because although, yeah, maybe he's been Spider-Man a year, and he's faced, some, thugs, the guy trying to rob the store or some sort of convenience store. But I don't think he's done much more than that. Maybe stopped a jaywalker or something like that. Well, besides, of course, fighting
So
with the Avengers. But he should be on his own, too. I agree. Like, that's the major problem with.
yeah, they try skipping the origin. Another thing about Far From Home is that he seemed to lack any urge to be responsible, which is weird considering the model of Spider-Man's great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, he seems to be
Yeah, yeah,
just not caring.
but that wasn't introduced now till May Parker died. Because there was no Ben Parker to teach him that.
So, yeah, exactly, because they just want to skip the origin, but just have Spider-Man in immediately. So,
Yeah,
so
well, I get wanting to quote unquote skip the origin in a sense, not retelling it, because we've had two movies where we've seen it. Most everybody knows it. But unfortunately, they did not have Ben Parker be there and him die before, well, no, see, We didn't just not see it, it didn't even happen. Because there was no Ben Parker.
Yes, they wanted to subvert it. That was the big thing, right? Because you assumed at first, since they never had to mention it in Civil War, and she's by herself, they're like, oh, there must have been a Ben, right? And that he's already died and that this already happened in the past. But then later they reveal, no, this never happened because they had the opportunity to subvert it, while your expectations were the complete opposite.
Yeah. And that's why I wonder who the hell this May Parker is. How is she Peter Parker's aunt?
Maybe no, maybe she's the sister of his real mom. I don't know.
No, it'd have to be the dad. Why else would she have Parker? Like she
No,
has to be
oh
the
yeah.
sister of the dad.
No, maybe she's just dad's sister. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know.
That's the closest I can get.
None of us know, and that's the problem. I doubt they'll ever tell us. It's just, and like with the second to last movie now, I realized that because May Parker dying was his Ben Parker moment.
Yeah, and I think that's the big problem is that we currently have people who will try to subvert expectations any chance that they get a chance to, right? Like any opportunity, they will subvert the expectation. When you easily could have just skipped Spider-Man's origin by implying that the origin happened before, because at this point everybody knows his origin. You never even had to have that moment. You could have just started doing stories with Spider-Man in action, which is what I think we should be moving towards. I think like DC is making a big mistake of trying to make their version of the MCU when all they have to do is just tell off like stories with characters. Maybe if it's like a obscure character that nobody knows, you can introduce them through somebody else's movie in the same way that the MCU did, or you could give them an origin or whatever. That's fine. But for the vast majority of characters, like most of the audience kind of sort of knows their origin by now, at least the main ones, right? Like
Yeah, Batman
really
and
need to give an
Superman.
origin.
Batman and Superman.
Batman, Superman, everybody knows.
Or
Wonder Woman.
because there was a popular movie, enough people know about that one. Like a lot of these you could just skip, and it's fine. Just tell stories with them.
I know, but like well, they just canceled the Booster Gold show. But I'm like, I have no, but like, they're gonna have Booster Gold be Indian for some reason, which even though it's supposed to be white with blonde hair, that's that. Why is he not a Booster Gold? It's kind of missing the point. It's kind of supposed to be all gold. That's the whole point. Gold hair, gold costume, like, huh? But they just canceled the Booster Gold show.
Well, I don't think. Yeah, he has blonde hair, and I guess that's sort of gold, but gold is more he's trying to get gold, money,
I know. He's trying to get gold because he's a fame, money seeking guy who becomes a superhero to get money and fame.
Yeah, and all because he messed up in his original timeline. As a football player. Football player. So what do you think, Metal?
It looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's all right.
Exactly.
I actually got it drawn and colored before my show ends, so that's good. And it looks fairly close to the character too. So I know you don't know much, but do you know anything about the anime or manga, Metal?
Yes, I knew some. Like I said, I read the first few chapters and then just realized it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
The basic premise is that this guy comes down to Earth, he becomes a teacher, and he starts teaching a classroom to kill him, because if they don't manage to kill him by like the end of the semester, I don't remember, it could be semester or school year, but by the end of the time that they're in his class, he will destroy the Earth. So it's kind of like a filter mechanism. It's like you have the opportunity to save your planet if you manage to kill me. That's like the whole premise of the series.
Okay.
Now, yes, the whole I've read the premise before. I just never bothered to watch it. I've stayed the
That's
premise
fine. Rick asked
about an
me
hour ago.
what I knew about it, so
Yeah, my buddy my buddy that went to see it with me said, I will be watching this episode. I heard you guys bashing Spider-Man. It was the greatest movie.
there
But like
has
but
not been.
I haven't even seen No Way Home because I just I don't care that they brought Toby and Andrew back. I just don't care. It's like okay, whatever, doesn't mean anything. Especially since they didn't do anything well with this version of Spider-Man that they had set up previously. Like with Scorpion, they didn't unveil the Scorpion until this most recent movie. And even then he's just a side character. He's not even
Yeah.
really a main villain. I want them to do the whole Jameson arc. Jameson creates Scorpion arc for the third movie. That would have been interesting. But no, we got to bring Toby and Andrew back for nostalgia bait.
Well, you know what? Jameson might have, but they didn't get into that. They didn't really get into the origin of Scorpion.
But because no one, I don't get why. I get why. I know why. Because of nostalgia bait. They rather do the nostalgia bait movie than they actually do the
No, no,
Scorpion arc.
well, no. What they wanted to do with this movie was make it a segue to bring the
But
X-Men into it. That's what it was for.
but like, will anybody here want to see the Scorpion arc be adapted? Where Jameson turns Gargan into Scorpion, all to kill Spider Man.
Possibly. I would have liked to see Scorpion as a bigger threat in the movie than what he was. I'll say that. I'm not sure exactly what I would have wanted to see in that, but I just wish he would have been a bigger threat in the movie. And the
Like,
it
Meta, would you
wasn't.
want to see that? See a movie where we actually explore Jameson's relationship with Scorpion. And like, would you want to see that? That
Uh, he might have walked away.
a
I'm
movie.
not sure.
Nah, I don't know if he's still here or if he's buffering or something because the screen icon's glowing green for some reason. So like, what?
Uh, I don't know, but like I said, it wasn't too
Now,
bad.
what? Anyone in the comments saying anything?
No, not nobody said anything since Flip said he didn't even know the new Spider-Man movie. But yeah, it wasn't too bad of a movie. It wasn't the greatest thing, like I think all the other ones were better so far. But it's not the worst movie I've ever seen, so. But seems like not much else to say. I'm done. So anything you'd like to promote, Fitzjozo?
No,
Okay. Are you here, Metal? Anything you'd like to promote? Okay. Well. Thanks for coming by, Fitzjozo, Metal. If you hear this, thanks for everybody in the chat coming by. It was great having you all here. I guess we will see you tomorrow when I will be combining Street Fighter character with a Mortal Kombat character, and most likely I think I'm going to be. Oh, okay. I was just since there wasn't much to seem to talk about. I was.
Oh, I'd use the restroom, so I walked away in the middle of ramblings. So.
Anything you'd like to promote?
Sure. Let me go grab a link, but I'll link directly to the TTRPG section of xDynamischaos.com. Because this Saturday we'll be doing. I don't even know if you'll be the first demo. I might have like one of the other players, like off air, record one with me beforehand. But we will definitely be demoing your character creation.
Yeah,
whenever you have time, possibly Saturday. So.
Yeah. I'm not sure what I got planned for Saturday. Of course, I have my morning show, and then I don't think I have anything planned for the rest of the day. So probably Saturday evening sometime. Do a live show.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. So yeah, that's.
And then we should be running the one shot sometime this month.
Okay. Yeah. So I will be doing as I was saying, combining Chung Li and I forget Sonya tomorrow night.
Katana.
No, Sonya.
Sonya. Oh, Sonya. Okay.
Blade.
Sonya Blade. I know.
For my Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter combo crossovers. Or combo, yeah. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for being here, Metal. We'll catch you all later. Bye for now. God bless. Have a great and wonderful day, night, whatever it might be.